Hey everyone, I just wanted to come on and speak to this, and my words are going to be all or nothing. And I say this based off the fact that I've seen all these puff pieces placed out there. How Charles has asked Catherine to reach out to Meghan Markle to heal the rift, to fix the... Understanding in seeing those, that this is a narrative, these are probably placed out there, just my opinion as not an expert, not a journalist, just a person who's been exposed to all of this, because that's what Harry and Meghan chose. They chose to sell it to me, like you and everyone else. I've said it before, it's a bit like a movie review at this point. We see these puff pieces placed out there, and I can only read that to be applying pressure on the royal family to tell the world that they kind of want back in, and these are the actions and behaviors going on behind the scene. And why, royal family, are you not doing these things to help these two? You know, it's just up in the ante as the royal family are placed out there in the headlines once again by an exclusive, or, you know, without an actual confirmation of these words, these actions, just something for the people to read, to find a feeling. And this is how it works, isn't it? It's advertisement, adverts, charities, you know, they rely on people's emotions, and Harry and Meghan relies on our emotions with Oprah and Netflix. They wanted us to feel a kind of way and align with them and look on and go against their family. But as we all preconceived that this was never going to work, especially with the curtsy and the dramatised and the hate and the pain, acknowledging that the royal family could not reply, we buried our queen and all of the above, and we look on and think this is too extreme. We all like a bit of car crash TV, but this it's too much. And as I see, and I can totally understand that WME would like Harry and Meghan to go more in a direction of positivity, to heal the rift, to fix the pain, so they can carry on and eventually get their payday. And we find ourselves in a situation now where it's very much placed along the royal family. Of course, that name that gets the payday. And that's why we got Netflix, that's why we got Oprah. It was solely for the royal family and Prince Harry. WME would never have looked in Meghan Markle's direction, this feminist, this strong independent woman who's clinging on all she can to Harry, this man, and his name, his titles, all for a game. And I look on and I think this is a dangerous territory, because if Charles, in that desperation, was to reach out, even though I don't believe he could at this point, because the lines are divide in the damage that's been caused, have just gone for too long and far and wide. But we're at a situation here where if they were to allow these two back in, there are a family out there still left out in the cold, because of course the direction, the narrative, the aim is to get the royal family back on the same page. But what about the family? What about the granddad? What about the dad? What about the people that have watched on to this family kicked to the curb, out in the cold? What about them? I believe the people that watch on, that connect to these emotions, will look on if we watch Harry and Meghan come to some sort of reconciliation with the royal family only. It's the biggest visual to how this is solely about that name, those titles, in that money. If they can find forgiveness in their heart to the royal family, where this has blown. They've wrote books, Oprah, Netflix, the Markles. What have they done? A dad seeking out, or sought out by the media, the same media Harry is constantly in court trying to sue for the damage they cause, without an acknowledgement to the damage that they caused Thomas Markle too, to the damage in the fact that a dad was desperately trying to reach out, desperately trying to show, to get rid of this headlines and the guts hanging out of the bout, to show that I'm getting fit, that I am good enough for you, Meghan, my baby, my daughter, please let me in. And that's what I take from that. That's what I see on those photos of that man. But that's the damage that has happened from this. And yes, his other children have came out in defense of their dad, but what would you do? What would you do if you watch your dad be there for your sister all this time and he's rejected, he's treated and disregarded like this? You're sat by his hospital bedside and she's nowhere to be seen, can't even reach out and won't even allow the royal family to support. Allegedly, supposedly. And this is the thing. So if we were to be in a situation where the royal family were to give in, and like I said, I doubt it very much, the damage to his brother, Willie, the one that he didn't have a relationship, he tries to convince. Willie, a gentle little nickname for his big brother. But no, of course, that didn't happen. The smiles at Balmoral, the growing up and the happy in the dad that Charles was and the love he had from Diana, that never happened. It was all pain and torture and trauma for Harry. We never see him happy. But of course, we've all seen that. We all see the actions and behaviour. Sadly, the reality is he lived the Truman Show. This is his life. This is what he was born into. Unlike some who's born into a lot worse. But if, as the people look on who are involved in this emotionally and watch those two reconcile with the royal family only, and we watch Thomas Markle, one of the people, be left out in the cold, it will be the biggest visual of a rich-poor divide. It will be the biggest visual of how these two will only reach out to that name, those titles, all for the fame. This is not about anybody's mental health and moving forward and healing. This situation would be about Harry, Meghan, the royal family and themselves. And that's just my opinion as I watch on. It would not go down well watching on if they were to be happy on our TVs, on our screens, playing families. And Thomas Markle is sat yet again watching this at home, like her wedding day, as Charles gave her away on his TV. And that's just my opinion on watching it all roll out. You know, that's all I can give.